the dance helps you express yourself and your feelings, and that you can tell someone about how you feel, except from being scared.
Absolutely brilliant. Dancing just makes everybody joyful, and that's one of the things that we encourage a lot of in this school, is lots of dancing and singing, and they've just had a brilliant time, and that's the best way to get a good message across.
Welcome back to today's programme, everyone, which we have titled, How Can I Tell My Child That? So now to help us is our resident family coach, Sharon Lawton. Welcome back to the show, Sharon.
Hi, Chris.
Love to have you on. So obviously it is very difficult when you do have young children, and when you go through things as adults. Maybe there's sickness in the family, as we've heard already, or other issues that come up. So how do you actually deal with telling your children difficult news?
I think trying to tell anybody any type of difficult news is hard, but when you're trying to tell a child, it seems to be even more difficult for some reason. But I think we sometimes really underestimate what children are able to deal with. So, what I would say really is, just have a real think about, your child best, your viewers there will know their child best. Really have a think about, you can plan in advance, have a think about, right, okay, so what is it that I want to tell them? I would also say don't over prepare, because if you over prepare and trying to make the conversation perfect before you actually have that conversation, then of course your child might then ask a question that you haven't thought about, and then that's completely thrown you. But there's no right or wrong way of having these conversations, really. You've got to do what you feel is right for you.
But how much should you maybe tell your child? Because obviously there's some things that maybe it's not good to tell them everything. And also, what age do you think it's good to tell children?
I think the thing to remember is that we, and rightly so, we want to protect our children. But we can't stop them from being sad. And I think children actually know, if we're trying to hide things from them, and we're worried about something ourselves, they know. And so therefore, by pretending that nothing's happened, or sort of like hiding it from our children, they get to just get a bit of a feeling that something is not quite right, and that can be even more disconcerting for them than using in the first place. Obviously age appropriate. Using nice, clear language. So, for example, you might turn around and say, oh, we've lost mummy, or we're going to lose mummy. Now, for a child that has special needs, or a very young children, that can be really confusing. They might think, well, why don't we just go and find her then? So we need to be really aware of the type of language that we're using. And again, just honest, age appropriate, and really just to give them that confidence and resilience to know that they can come and ask you questions whenever that they feel that they need to. We don't have to have all of the answers right there and then. And
obviously a lot of parents are trying to avoid causing trauma to their children as well, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. And when it's a difficult question, I think sometimes we can overthink it. Choose your timing. So if it's during the school term, you might think, okay, well, let's do it right at the beginning of the weekend. That way you can have that conversation, and the children will have an opportunity to be able to digest it over the weekend, reflect, come back, ask any questions that they might need to. Choose a time when it's quiet, where you're not going to be interrupted, where there's not going to be distractions. So turn off phones and turn off the television. If both parents are around, we'll then tell the children together. If you're a single parent, you might decide you want to do it alone, or equally you might choose to share the news with an adult that the children know well and also trust, or even a health professional that you trust. There are no right or wrong ways to do it, but I think it is important to be honest as you can be. You don't have to know all the answers. There are some fantastic charities, Winston's Wish, for example, and Hope Again. They have some fantastic information and support for young people going through trauma and experiencing bereavement, or just sort of a terminal illness, or or difficult news of any kind, really. And things like I've mentioned before, sort of worry boxes and thoughts and feelings books, where you can sort of write down your feelings and sort of share them that way, rather than feeling able to sort of share out loud. But take your child's lead.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can be shocked. We tell them something and they go, "Oh right, can I go and play on my bike now?"
Yeah, you just never know.
You never know. And each situation is different, and each child is different.
Okay, brilliant. Sharon, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
And we'll see you again very soon.
Look forward to it,
hopefully.
Chris.
Brilliant. Well, everyone.